There is a popular proverb that says, when you throw stones in the market square, be aware that those same stones could touch your family members. There is a video on the internet where controversial internet character Very Dark Man is popping champagne at the news of Bobrisky's arrest, as well as another video of him taunting and celebrating to the news that he had been sentenced to 6 months in prison without the option of a fine for crimes related to naira mutilation. Now, on the 16th of April, popular socialite Cubana C.P was said to have been arrested in connection to the same naira mutilation offense after officials of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission presented videos of him spraying bundles of naira notes at various events. By the 17th of April, he was arraigned before a court in Lagos and charged with the crime of naira mutilation and given a bail of 10 million naira, which he was able to pay and go home that same day. So why did I talk about throwing stones in the very beginning? Well, Cubana C.P is one of VDM's supporters and one of the very first celebrities alongside Davido that showed support for VDM. Now he has entered into trouble because of the storm that was created by his controversial friend. So let me take you back to how all this thing started. Around the 20th and 21st of March 2024, VDM posted a video where he was talking about a crossdresser who was introduced into homosexual activities at the very young age of 12-year-old. The crossdresser went on to talk about how all this changed his life. Very Dark Man was saying that in the comment sections, many people were calling for the arrest of this young man. Very Dark Man, on the other hand, said that he believed that the boy was more of a victim in this situation and that if people were asking for arrest, they should go for the arrest of Bobrisky. Now, Bobrisky, who is no stranger to controversy, got wind of what Very Dark Man said and decided to respond, and there was a back and forth between both Very Dark Man and Bobrisky. By the 22nd of March, which was a Friday, Very Dark Man said a couple of things that offended the top bosses of the Nigerian police and he was arrested.
Nigerian police bosses, I will continue insulting you people. To the senators, I will continue insulting you people because I have a reason to believe that Bobrisky is pimping young boys to you people. Bobrisky is giving you people young boys to sleep with.
Bobrisky went on to celebrate the arrest of Very Dark Man. Now, by the 24th of March, which was a Sunday, there was a movie premiere in Lagos where the organizers decided to give the best dressed woman in the event to Bobrisky. This particular news and information went viral and a lot of people were upset and outraged that among all the beautiful women that came to an event, Bobrisky was the one that got best dressed woman. And Bobrisky is a very popular crossdresser who is a man that is dressing as a woman. In my heart, I knew that this particular event was going to cause a lot of reaction from the public and get the attention of the federal government. A few days later, Bobrisky gets arrested for crimes related to money laundering and naira mutilation. By the next day, the money laundering charge was dropped, but the naira mutilation was upheld and he was remanded in prison without an option of bail. By the 12th of April 2024, Bobrisky gets sentenced to 6 months in prison without the option of a fine. If you have been following what has been going on, you would know that this particular punishment has more to do with Bobrisky's lifestyle, which is in sharp contrast with the conservative values of our Nigerian society. Without a doubt, the sentencing and punishment was a warning shot to members of the LGBTQ community as well as crossdressers to keep their behavior to themselves and stop bringing it out to the public so that they don't have an effect on young, impressionable people. So, at this point, I would like to go into the deeper reason for this punishment because if you are not aware, there are actually anti-gay laws in Nigeria that prevent the showing of same-sex union and activities on the internet. But some people might ask that what is there if Bobrisky has broken these laws, which Very Dark Man actually stated in the video he made? Why is it difficult for the government to just arrest him straightforward like that? Well, the truth is that if you are aware of international foreign policy, you will know that Nigeria, being a pro-Western country, cannot just arrest Bobrisky because in the new reality of the world now, the Western powers are fighting for equal rights for people of the LGBT community as well as straight people. And in a country like Nigeria that is very conservative, many of Bobrisky's actions as well as other crossdressers has been creating a lot of tension because it's a deviation from our more traditional values. But the thing is that Nigeria, being a very pro-Western country because of our business dealings with USA and UK, cannot just directly arrest people of the LGBTQ community without backlash from the international community.
Well, Sean, there are some cases that are always very difficult to prove. Fine, I'm not ruling out the fact that we have many of them. But if you, for instance, you want to prove a case of rape has points to prove. If any one of those points is missing, you may lose your case in court. Let us be reasonable. You can't arrest somebody you want to prosecute without having credible evidence against such a person.
Cross-dressing is not a crime yet in Nigeria.
I don't think so, because I've not read anywhere it's an offense per se. But some of them that are into cross-dressing, the allegation is that they're into something else, unnatural offenses. That's where the problem lies. We need to actually have enough proof, credible evidence, to prove that they're actually into that. All those offenses are natural offenses in Nigeria, and they're punishable under our law.
If you are aware of how international foreign policy works, the foreign powers are very pro-LGBTQ and will go harsh against any country that supports any anti-gay activity. Now, you might wonder, what is if you arrest people of the LGBTQ, nothing will happen. Well, let me tell you that Western influence and pushback when it comes to anti-gay laws have real-world effect on countries that pass them. Many of these countries can experience reduced Western support in form of military assistance, Western high-grade weapons, healthcare assistance, international loans from the World Bank and IMF, economic sanctions, travel bans on those who enacted and passed these laws, as well as meddling in local politics to remove those people who push these bills into law. For example, in Uganda, which created the anti-gay law in 2022, the repercussion of this law has been seen in real time, because immediately after the bill was signed into law, the Ugandan shilling actually plummeted in value significantly. Even the World Bank decided to not proceed with the multi-billion-dollar loans it had already promised to give the country for different things. There were also calls to boycott Uganda as a tourist destination, which actually provides for 15%, if not 20%, of their entire GDP. Another good example is Ghana. In March 2024, Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo said that the anti-LGBTQ bill had not reached his desk since it was passed in February 28, 2024. This bill was actually a bill that was going to criminalize many homosexual activities, including marriage, being together in public, and showing homosexual activities on the internet. If the president actually signed the bill to law, his government could lose as much as $3.8 billion loan and another $3 billion loan package from the IMF, which will totally derail Ghana's growth plan and economic financing. The passing of the bill will also attract sanctions from Western countries like the US and the UK, as well as most of Europe. As I said earlier, Nigeria has an anti-LGBTQ law that prevents a lot of same-sex activities. The law is called the Same-Sex Marriage Prohibition Bill, which sought to criminalize homosexual activities by 1. Imposing a 14-year prison sentence on anyone who enters a same-sex marriage contract or civil union. 2. A 10-year sentence on individuals or group, including religious leaders, who witness, abet, and aid the solemnization of a same-sex union or marriage. 3. 10 years prison sentence on those who directly or indirectly make a public show of a same-sex relationship, which was a crime that Bobrisky actually did commit for a couple of videos he had done in the past. And 4. Anyone who registers, operates, or participates in any gay club, society, or organization, including supporters of those same organizations. This law was passed in 2014 by the then President Goodluck Jonathan. This particular law that was signed by Goodluck Jonathan actually had real-world effects on he and his political ambition, because immediately after he signed it, he got a lot of pushback from the Western powers. He said in his 2018 book, My Transition Hours, that in 2015, when he was trying to run for re-election, that when he announced that the election was going to be postponed by 6 weeks, he got a lot of resistance and anger from USA and UK, and that the then President of America, Barack Obama, released a video he considered to be very condescending.
Hello. Today I want to speak directly to you, the people of Nigeria.
And that the message sounded as if he was telling the Nigerian people to vote against him. In the book, he said the pressure on the issue of election rescheduling was very intense, and that the Western powers maintained a kind of attitude of someone who had been deceived before, and therefore they had no reason to be empathetic or understanding of his government actions and position.
The level of interference by the Obama's government was very overwhelming. It's not as if I couldn't have won the election even with that. But if by my own thinking and also the way some other people looked at it, they go outside the normal diplomatic relationship, then it should be mentioned. Sending that person to Nigeria at the eve of election, after Obama even issued a statement directing Nigerians to vote for the next chapter, that tells you something. And we should not sweep this things under the carpet. If a foreign country, or an African country, or even America or any other country interferes with our own elections, we should mention it.
He said that the UK and US were especially agitated towards him. Unless he's not as intelligent as we think, I'm sure he knew the true reason why they were not happy with him and wanted him gone. And true, by 2015, he lost the election to Muhammadu Buhari, and it was the first time in history where a president will actually lose their second term bid. But that's to show you how powerful the Western bodies can be. Now, even though Nigeria has these anti-LGBTQ laws, the government that passed the laws have been removed from office, which, as I said, was the former president Goodluck Jonathan. Now, the present government, led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is clearly pro-Western and gets a lot of help and support from the UK and US. So, enforcing anti-gay laws very directly would trigger a lot of backlash from the international audience. But as I said, Nigeria is still a very conservative and culturally homophobic country. So, expressions of openly gay activities will attract attention of both the government and the people. As the government saw what happened to Uganda, to Ghana, and to Goodluck Jonathan, they knew that because of the state of the economy, because of the inflation, and because of their business dealings with Western countries, they knew that going directly at somebody like Bobrisky was going to create a lot of attention from the Western world and make things very difficult for them when it comes to dealing with Western countries. So rather than that, they decided to be more sneaky about it, which was when they decided to now punish Bobrisky by sentencing him to 6 months in prison for naira mutilation. Because, as I said before, Bobrisky was not the first person to actually spray money in the club and mutilate the naira notes, but he was the one that got punished. There's another actress that actually did the same crime but was given the option of a fine. But in Bobrisky's case, it was intentionally designed to punish him. Now, I'm sure that the government realized that the international community are not stupid and that they will know that the punishment is not because of the naira mutilation but because of his openly gay activities. So they now decided to now start arresting other people. The first on the list now is Cubana Chief Priest, which now leads me back to the very beginning, because right now Cubana Chief Priest has been charged with naira mutilation, although he has been granted bail of 10 million naira and he has gone home. But right now he's going to be going to court to defend his case. In the case of Bobrisky actually pleaded guilty, but I have heard that Cubana Chief Priest has pleaded not guilty, which would now make it more difficult for the EFCC, because the EFCC now has to prove that the money that Cubana Chief Priest was spraying was actually real money. If you are intelligent enough, you will know that Cubana Chief Priest is just a cover-up for a cover-up, because they were trying to cover up their desire to punish Bobrisky by giving him charges of naira mutilation. Now they're now punishing Cubana Chief Priest so as to cover up the true reason, which is that they don't want to offend the international community. And just like that, this whole thing is going to now create a kind of ripple effect whereby a lot of people are going to get punished, so that even if they know that the real reason is because of Bobrisky's LGBTQ connections, they will not be able to prove it, because the government will say that, well, we have been enforcing this law, we have arrested people that are not members of the LGBTQ community, including this person. You can see that he's openly straight, you can see that this person is not gay. But if you're intelligent enough, you will know that that's not the true reason. Now back to VDM. VDM should be very careful, because this whole thing that he has done now, yes, Bobrisky has gone to jail, he has celebrated, But tomorrow now, if VDM wants to go to the United States, to the UK, and many of these Western world, if members of the LGBTQ decide to write a petition against him, he would be banned, and that is the fact. As of now, from what I've researched, I don't think President Jonathan has been able to go since he lost his election in 2015. So I hope Very Dark Man understands the gravity of what he has done. It's not as if I'm supporting Bobrisky, but I'm just a cultural observer, and I can tell that all these things have their own effect. I am quite conservative, but I'm also for human rights, because in as much as what Bobrisky has been doing with his arrogance and his tendencies towards always trying to show that he is a clapback master, I've been mistress. Nigeria is a conservative country. You cannot just be so openly gay in a very homophobic country without experiencing some kind of pushback. So this is my own take on this matter. I hope that you understand where I'm coming from. I'm still a brotherhood, always be a brotherhood. If you like or dislike what you heard in the video, please drop a comment in the comment section below. If you like the video, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel for more contents related to the psychology of pop culture. My name is Kola. I'll see you in my next videos. Bye.